Hi friends, thanks for joining me. Today I want to do a project that I've actually already done before, but I want to simplify it using Sew It Pro. So this is for Sew Art and Sew It Pro, and I'm going to create my initial graphic in Paint, which you should have on a Microsoft computer. And if you're one of my regular subscribers, I want to tell you how excited I am because I've got a new computer. If you're a new subscriber, a new watcher, I'm really excited because I just got a new computer. I've been doing this YouTube thing for a while on my son's old computer. Well, on my original computer, and then I had to use his, and now I finally have one of my own, and it's so fast. I'm so happy. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to create a business card sized little travel tag. Okay, so we're just going to create an outer line and we're going to create an inner line, and you want them to each have different colors. Okay, and if you need everything to be precise, you can go up here to View and choose Grid Lines, and that will tell you how much space you have in between everything. I didn't really care that much, so that's that. Let's go back to home, and now we're just going to take this line and we're going to have it do one line here, and then we're going to move over a little bit. You have to tap out or else it'll try to select the first one you did. Okay, and the reason we have two of them on here is because it's going to catch the ribbon or piece of vinyl that you use to for the loop for the keyring to go on. You want it to have the double stitch down so that it keeps it in place really good. So first it's going to print out, we're going to digitize it to print out one of these first. Let's see if I can remember without doing it. We're going to digitize one of those as the die line, and then we're going to get, then it's going to do, should we have those do a die line? So that's kind of up to you. I'm not going to have them as a die line, but you can have these green ones stitched twice so that you can have it place a die line to tell you where to place the loop. And then you can have it where it stitches the loop once you have it placed as well. So that's totally up to you. I think that might actually be a good thing. I think I might actually do that too. And then this is just the little window, and that's only going to need to stitch once. So let's go ahead and choose Select, Rectangular Selection, Crop, Select All, and oh, I still have it on the demo version. Well, let's just continue. So this is what it looks like if you have the demo version. This should give us enough stops in the demo version. Let's do edit and then we'll paste in our thing. Let's see, 4 colors. It sounds like we can have up to 7 colors, so we're good there. Let's go straight over into the Stitch Image button. It looks like a little sewing machine. And this is where it's going to get fun. All right, so if you want to know what good stitch settings are, if you want to change it up a little bit, go to cleverdogdesigns.blogspot.com And one of the pages at the top will be default and desired stitches for sew art. And it'll tell you kind of a good idea of what you should change these to based on what I've done with them so far. There's probably tons of different ways to set your settings. This is just kind of a guideline to help you get comfortable with the settings in sew art. All right, so we're not going to do applique. Applique gives us three stitches each time. And that can be helpful in certain situations, but it's not going to be helpful for us specifically for this. So we're just going to use outline center line. If you use outline border, it's going to stitch around the border of each line. So we'll get a double stitch out. So we're just going to go center line. And the reason why I chose the rounded corners instead of a stop and go like 90-degree corner is because sew art is just gonna it's gonna skip that corner anyways. It's not gonna have a very easy time doing the start and stop. I don't think very many embroidery machines do, except for probably really high-end ones. All right, so outline center line, we have the running stitch. We're gonna change that to a bean stitch because we want it to be cute in the end. We're going to change the height to 2 and the length to 35. Okay. And we want to seed on somewhere flat so it's nice and easy to seed. Well, let's seed up here where all that stuff is going to be kind of sewing together. Down here, up here, whatever. Okay. And let's zoom in a little. See, so it followed it really nicely. That's really good. Okay, so it's going to do that one, and then we'll have it do this one, and this one. Okay. Now we'll choose File, Save As. And we just went ahead and stitched everything with the bean stitch. But if you want to change the stitches of each individual one, go ahead and do that. So whenever you go to save anything in sew art, it's going to first pop up this save image file thing so that you can save the copy of the image that you've worked on in sew art. We're not going to do that in this instance. We're just going to hit cancel. And we're going to save it on our desktop. Travel tag. We don't want it to be the final, so let's see. Travel tag. Prototype. I don't know why I can't think of words tonight. Pretty tired. I guess that's probably why. Okay. Save. Click OK. And now we can close sew art altogether now. All right, so let's go ahead and choose Open, Desktop, Travel Tag Prototype. Click Open. All right, so we need to resize this so that it will fit into my machine. How do we... I don't want it to do percent. There we go. That's as big as it can get from my hoop. Let's go ahead and fix the hoop size. Oh, it's different than I'm used to. Got to get used to how it looks. Okay, tools, options, hoops. See, this kind of stuff I would normally edit out. Not make you guys sit through it. Okay, oops, I should have put set as default. In any case, so there we go. So we need it to print out this, and then we want it to do print out, sew out this part. But then we want it to go ahead and do this number 1 again once we have created, once we have put the loop in. So I hope that makes sense. No, it's not easy to follow when we're not actually doing the sew out. So, but we will be doing a sew out finally with this this computer. I can do a sew out and I can get it from the iCloud off of my phone really easy. And that's something I haven't been able to do before. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so in this case, we want to, I don't know why I'm making this harder than it has to be. I'm going to highlight the black, go up here to File, or Edit, I'm sorry, Copy, click Out, and then go back up to Edit and click Paste. You can do all of this with controls as well, okay? So once we have, and then we want this to go twice. So let's go ahead and edit, copy, tack out, edit, paste. Okay, so we want a die line, an initial die line. Die line for the vinyl. And then a die line for the ribbon, even if it's a ribbon of vinyl. Okay, and then this is going to be our tack down and then tack down of the ribbon. And don't worry, we're going to organize all of those correctly. Okay, and then this window is going to be oh no, this is our final stitch. Nope, we need 3 of these black ones. So let's go ahead and edit, copy, edit. Oops. I have to click out. Okay, so then we'll have a final stitch. Okay, so then the red is our little window. I know this seems all over the place, but there is a method to this crazy madness. Okay, let's go ahead and order threads. Okay, so we have number 1, which is our die line, and then we have a die line for the ribbon. And then we want the ribbon, we want to put the ribbon down and then run our stitch. So we want this one to be number 3. And then once that's down, we're going to lay our whole piece of vinyl over with the clear underneath it, and then it's going to tack it down. So we want this one to be number 4, and it is. So that's good. Okay, and then it's going to stitch out our windows. That's going to be number 5. And then it'll do a final stitch, and that's number 6. Click OK. Okay, just to double check everything. So it's going to give us a die line for the vinyl, and then it's going to give us our die line for the ribbon, and then it's going to tack down our ribbon. And then we're going to put our vinyl down, our vinyl and our clear vinyl, so we have a clear window. We're going to put that down, layered, and then it's going to do a tack down. And then it's going to go in and stitch out number 5, which is the inner window. And then for this number 6, this is the one that is our little change up. Because we want to be able to slide something in here, we're going to go ahead and delete this whole front part. And the way to do that in Sew What Pro, the way I've been used to doing it, is missing. Really? Oh my gosh. I don't want the cutting toolbar. I wanted the eraser. I wish you guys were here with me and you could show me what I'm looking for. That's no good. Maybe that's it. Oh, that is it. Okay, so it's the cutting. Sorry. Okay, that's a good enough size. We don't need it to be too big. Okay. Oh, so I guess it just stays. So we're just going to grab it right there while it's still on the top part. And what we're doing is we're erasing this whole side stitch. It's not letting me get to it because of the size. So okay, maybe it will now. Oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. There we go. Okay, so this is not turning out to be as easy as it used to be. Okay. There we go. Oops. Okay, so it's highlighted on this one, so it's not going to delete anything from our ones underneath. Scared me for a second there. Okay, so we wanted to, at that final one, we're going to put the backing on, and with that backing, it's going to stitch this all the way around, but leave an opening in the back for, or in the front for you to slide your, what you call it, your business card or whatever it is that you choose to put your name on and stuff in there. All right, so once we've done that, we choose close, and then we want to save yes. Okay, so now with this one, number 6, let's go ahead and have it match. Okay. What's that up there? Do you see that? What is that? I'm not the best at Sew What Pro. Just, that's weird. Oh, is it showing the jumps? No. It's just doing that. Okay, those jumps I expected. What in the world is this? It's nothing. Oh, I'm so confused. This was supposed to be very simple and fast. My gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh, this program is so confusing. Sorry you guys had to sit through that. Oh my gosh. So number 6, 5 is the window, 4 is the tack down. Okay, so that is everything that we want for this part. Okay, so we are going to save this as the front, and then we're going to create the backing. And we have to do the backing first, so that whenever you're ready to do the backing on this, whenever you're ready to do the number 6, you have your backing ready to go on the back. Now, if you don't want anything on the back, it's totally fine. You don't have to have anything on the back. But if you want to digitize something on the back, why not, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to choose File, Save As, and this is going to save it on our desktop. Travel Tag Front. Stitch last. Choose Save. Okay, and now we're going to get rid of this one. Delete. We're going to get rid of that one. Delete. We are deleting everything. Okay, except for one tack down. Die line. Tack down, die line, whatever. Okay. And now from here, we're going to go to File, Merge, and we're going to choose this logo that I did earlier. Oh, it's huge. Okay, let's make it little. There we go. That's about perfect on there. Click OK. All right, so bigger it is, the nicer it'll stitch out, but I think that is pretty perfect. Okay, so this we are going to save as File, Save As, Travel Tag Back, Stitch First. Click Save. And now we need to actually we'll do 3.89. Click OK. All right, File, Save. Okay, now let's open Travel Tag Front. Click Open, and we'll make sure that's at 3.9 as well. Did I click 3.9 or 3.89? Click OK. We need them to be exactly the same. So I know it's annoying, but I'm going to double check that again. So 3.89 is what we picked, right? And now stitch first. 3.86 is what it changed it to. So I'm glad that I checked. Or maybe I changed it to, it says 3.89 on here. Or 88. Okay. And then up here it says 3.91. So it'll be okay. It'll stitch it out just fine on the machine. So, oh, that's why they look so different. I'm zoomed in. Alrighty, so I'll see you guys at the machine in a minute. Thanks. Bye. Okay, I'm over at my machine now. Full disclosure, it is the next day. I didn't get a chance to finish this last night, but I'm refreshed and awake, and I've had some caffeine. So the things that you're going to want for this is This is something that the lady handed me at Hobby Lobby when I was looking for clear vinyl. And so you don't need to use this. It's quite expensive, $3.99 for a sheet. It's heat resistant template plastic. Good with most irons, excellent work surface for hot glue guns, paint, clay. So there's all kinds of stuff. Withstands heat up to 450 degrees. So you might even be able to put it in the oven. I don't know. But anyways, this is what I'm using today by default. I would use regular clear vinyl or packaging even from, if I had known she was going to give me this and not needing the heat resistant stuff, I would have just used packaging from like toys and food and stuff like that. There's always a lot of plastic packaging available. Anyways, that's a really long explanation for that. You need stabilizer. I'm using garden fabric. And I'm just going to cut a piece off in the right size. You're going to need some, I'm using marine vinyl. I bought this at McDonald's. At Joann's yesterday. You find it in the well, I don't know if it's in the back in all of them, but you're going to find it in a roll with the like outdoor fabric and curtain fabric, the heavy duty fabric. That's where you'll find your marine vinyl, and the price looks scary. You say it's $19.99 a yard or something like that. I don't remember, but you really only need a few inches. I got, I think, 12 inches for $6 because it was on sale, which is plenty. I have tons now to do lots of these. All right, so you'll need that. You're gonna need to cut off some little ribbons or whatever we call these things, just little things to loop in there for the key ring to go through. So you don't need two of them. I just cut one long strip and got two. You're going to need tape to tape that down. You're going to need your hoops. You're going to need your bobbin. I always make sure that my bobbin is the same color as the top bobbin. And today we're using this really pretty hot pink. I found that at Joann's as well. So there's hot pink in the bobbin, hot pink up here. I did a test sew out to make sure that it was going to look good whenever I put the new thread in. I didn't change my needle. I haven't changed my needle. Oh, actually, that's a big lie. I broke my needle like a week ago, so I have changed it recently. But I don't change my needle that often, and I don't change it with every project, just in case you're wondering. And I use the 7511, I don't know, Coates. I don't think it's Coates brand. I don't know who makes them, but they're the most popular embroidery needle brand. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. On the machine, let's see, can we do that? On the machine, oh, and you're gonna need scissors. I would have big scissors as well as your embroidery scissors for snipping. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is load this up. Now, if you remember, we did the front and the back. This is the front, this is the back, but we have to sew out the back first, okay? So we're gonna load that up. It's gonna do the die line, and then it's gonna do the logo, okay? All right, so first thing is we need to put our stabilizer on the wrong part. I know it looks all crazy because I just cut it from the, what you call it here, from the hoop. So it always leaves little tail at the end up there. Okay, and then we're just going to float this. And if you're really interested in maximizing your material as much as possible, you'll want to you know, measure everything out and cut that stuff. I'm not that worried, especially for tutorial purposes. I feel like I can just go as fast as I can to get the point across to you guys instead of spend time worrying about sizing and stuff. Okay, so if you want to make sure that your piece is big enough, on the SE400 you choose Adjust, Layout, and then down here there's a little button, let's see, making sure you're focused. There's a little button that will like draw the area for you basically. So it looks like we are good. Now I want to make sure it starts down here. We can push that up a little bit. That way we can actually save some material. Put your presser foot down and press start. You might need to hold this. Okay, and now it's going to sew out the logo. Okay, back part is done. And I could have stopped it and cut all of the jump stitches every time, but that would have just kept the video going on forever. So I will trim those, and I'll be back with you when I have hooped and got the next design loaded up. Okay, see you in a second. All right, so the first thing that it's going to give us is our die line for the outside. So let's choose, well, it's already loaded up. Click OK. And this is just going to tell us where on the hoop, on the stabilizer, to place our fabric. And now it's going to do the die lines for the ribbons. It's going to put out two little tack downs. Now we're going to put our ribbon on. I know I'm calling it ribbon. You can call it what you choose. Okay. So we're just taking a piece of this same kind of vinyl that we're using, folding it in half, and then placing it right there. Oops, sorry. Okay, now it's going to tack those down. So I'm going to take this off of here, and I'm going to take the tape off. Trim the ribbon bottom just a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, but I don't know why it was bothering me. It does not matter at all. Okay, so here's our back part, and this is going to go on the very, very last. And our three-sided stitch out, that's when we place this on the back, okay? So for now, we are going to go ahead and see that plastic. See, that's how much we need. So it's about right here. Sorry about my kitty cat. He really wants to go outside. Okay. So just make sure that it covers all of the spot where it's going to sew. And you can even tape that down as well. I'm going to, just to be safe. That's an awkward angle. Okay, and it's a little on the edge over there, but that's okay because we're going to have the inner window that's going to put it, or going to really solidify it in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our presser foot down, and it's going to do the big circle, or the big rectangle around. And now it's going to do the inner window, and once this is done, we're going to be able to cut out around that inner window, and you'll be able to see the clear. Okay. All right, so now here is where we're going to match up the back, this back side. Did I do that? I'm glad I caught myself. How did I do that? So, oh, the clear, I guess it doesn't really matter. The clear can go back here and then this go on here. So whenever you do your cut, you cut the stabilizer and this at the same time, which is what I meant to do. But in the long run, it doesn't really matter as long as you catch yourself and you cut this out right now before we put the backing on. So I'm gonna do that and be right with you in a second. Alright, so I have the back cut out, and I kind of think I like that way better. There's more tension on this for me to cut, and it doesn't fray as much as it does whenever I'm trying to cut two things at once in the front. So I might just stick to that technique, but do it however you want. So here what we're doing is we're going to match up, and it's up to you whether you want it to be in this direction or that direction. This direction is working best for me. Let's cut this down a little. Cut off some of this excess. Alright, so we basically just want to match it with the stitch underneath, okay? So that's one corner. Okay, let's see. It's hard to do this without moving the camera a billion times so you guys can see everything too. Okay, so corner to corner. Okay, and then same up here. That one might just be a little bit off because it's hard for me to see it in this direction. But I'm okay with it being a little bit off. Okay. For tutorial's sake, I think that should be just fine. Alright. And now this is our final stitch, stitch number 6, and it's only going to stitch 3 sides, remember? Ooh. All right, so it did pretty good on the back. That's really great. So I'm gonna run that stitch one more time just to make it super sturdy, because these are travel tags. They are going to be bounced around and pushed around. So let's adjust. Oops. Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out this middle piece and find a business card or something that I can slide in there and be back with you guys. Okay, see you in a second. So I went ahead and cut out this part right here, and I don't remember what I was saying before we were interrupted by my phone not wanting to record anymore. But oh, if you're doing this for business, that's what it was. This is where it might be handy to have this heat resistant plastic in here. You can take a hot knife and run it along the side of here and just melt it, basically melt it as you're cutting, and it'll make it really nice and crisp and perfect. Okay, so I went ahead and cut this all out. The video did not record because I had too much stuff on my computer or on my phone. I wish that they give you some kind of indication that that's about to happen. Don't do any recording because you're about to fill up. Not like right in the middle of a recording. Tells you have no more space. So annoyed. And what's the point of the cloud? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this part I wanted to talk to you about because it's going to come up and it's going to be like a sandwich. And for these three sides, you can cut the whole sandwich at one time. But because we have our little loop at the top, you have to pull this back, cut that piece that was there, take this part, pull this back, and we've got to cut that piece. It's hard for me to do it through the camera, so I'm going to just do my best. I'm sorry if it goes out of view. Try to do one long cut. There we go. Probably should have done that from the back so I knew where my stitch line was. Alright, and then there's a little bit of tape there I need to pull out. But there we go. So that's not exactly in the middle. That's funny. So when you digitize this, make sure you put your thing in the middle. Sometimes, like I said earlier, I don't do measurements and stuff like that because I just want to get the idea out to you guys. I'm not trying to create an idea or an item that you can do, you know, specifically and have for yourself. These are tutorials on how to use the SewArt software and make things of your own based on the basic ideas that I'm giving you guys. So that is everything. It's so cute. And let me just, I couldn't find a business card. I mean, I don't know why right now in life there should be business cards everywhere, but for some reason there's not. So this is where you would slide your business card, or if you're fancy, you can make, you know, a little passenger card on your computer and print it out. So all you have to do is measure this width right there and maybe make it just a tiny bit so it stays inside of there and you don't have any of this back part showing through. And I just use a regular keychain ring for this. You just slide it in there, and you can put one of those clippy ends on it if you want. You know, sky's the limit with these things. I've made quite a bit of these for, oh, let's see, get that out of there, for gifts for friends. Alrighty, there it is. See you guys.